Hey there, YouTube. I got some more interesting things here that I acquired recently to show you, some more antique blacksmithing tools. I got really fortunate with these tools. I got a really good deal, and right now I'm actually in the process of restoring some of them. So here's what we got right now. I went to a antique store up in, or I should say, down in Rockton, Illinois. I got a couple things. I got this forge blower here. And as you can see, it's a Royal Western Chief forge blower. I got a post drill, unknown manufacturer. I'm still trying to identify it. The only markings it says is number 0 and 817. And then I got this other small hand crank drill. Now normally a blower like this is going to go around for $300. And I was fortunate enough to get it for about $65. This post drill was actually in pretty rough shape. I've already cleaned most of the crud off it. These can go anywhere for up to $300, and I got it for $20. I couldn't believe it. Unfortunately, some of its parts are missing. The base down here that you would drill onto is missing. I still have the cap on the end though that you attach to the wall, but that's missing. The previous owner must have fabricated a couple of parts with some railroad spikes and plate. But for $20, I just couldn't pass it up. And then I got this hand drill right here for about $15. So, all in all, this came only close to $100. And I just couldn't believe it. All these things for $100. Now, they all still function according to how they should. Now, this forge blower works pretty darn nice. I'm actually in the process of restoring it right now. I wish I would have taken before pictures before I started working on it. It looked about how this one did. But I was looking up some different ways to clean it, and some people say electrolysis. Now, unfortunately, since I live in an apartment, and it's freezing outside, electrolysis really isn't an option because it releases hydrogen gas. I don't really want that building up in my apartment with my cats. And I can't put it outside because it'll freeze. So I did some poking around, and I found this stuff here. It's called a crud cutter. Now I was pretty skeptical about this stuff at first. Didn't really think it would work really well. So I hosed this thing down, gave it a few minutes just to kind of soak, and really gave it a really good scrubbing with the wire brush. And this crud cutter, it took the rust down almost to the bare metal in some spots. I mean, you would not believe how what in rough shape this thing was before I started working on it, and it's absolutely beautiful now. Well, there's some markings on it too that I thought were kind of strange. Keep filled with oil to petcock. Now, I'm not really sure what that is. I'm assuming it's one of these holes here, this one or this one. And to paint this, since we were a John Deere farm growing up, I found this Rust-Oleum farm equipment, and right there, matches John Deere green. And this thing is turning out more beautifully than I ever would have imagined. My original plans were to use the green and yellow on the post drill here, make like this flywheel yellow, make this here green, and maybe some of the other sprockets here yellow, handle green, top sprocket yellow. Kind of give it a nice look. Now this hand drill here, I don't think I'm actually going to touch it. I kind of like the aged look it has. It still has enough color to look nice. It's not rusting, and the paint isn't chipping. There's one or two little spots I might touch up, but overall I kind of just want to leave it the way it looks. I'm going to go ahead and show you a small video of this post drill and this smaller hand drill. And later on, after I'm done restoring this guy here, I'll put a picture of it online as well. So this right here is called a post drill. What smiths would do is they would attach it right here to the post of a barn at about shoulder height. Now, the neat thing about this drill is that not only it's completely manually operated, but it also has an auto feed system built into it. There's a series of teeth up here on this top wheel, and as you turn this wheel, it actually lowers the drill chuck down here. So what we can do is we can engage this lever, and as we turn this, as you can see, the lever pushes that wheel forward at a constant rate and moves your chuck down. And right down here you can see how that works is as I'm turning it, this auto feed lever here is being pushed up by this gear here, which is off center. This is what causes it to move up as it's moving. And really all this wheel does here is just kind of add energy. So as I turn this, if I let go, it keeps going. So once I get started, it's a lot easier to turn. So this is another hand-operated drill. And it's pretty simple. You can take this and hold it against your shoulder or your chest and press into your work as you're turning it. Now, there's a couple neat things built into this particular drill. One is a level, so you can keep your work obviously level. The other thing that's really neat is this actually has two different operating gears. The first is this large outside gear, which this is used for speed primarily. But let's say you're first starting out on a hole, you want to make sure it's level, so you want to slow down your drilling speed. What you can do is press this button here, and this button disengages this lock, which holds this gear into place. So we just press this button, gear falls right out, and then we can see there's a second set of gears here. We can press that in here, clicks, locks in place, and now you're operating at a much slower rate. I got my post drill all restored. Kind of painted some different colors here. Kind of went with a John Deere yellow and green look. So now the nice thing is you can really kind of see how this thing works. So we'll get this thing going. Again, you can see the auto feed mechanism working. I've restored it enough now to where I can really get it going and then let go. And as you can see, it keeps going. Whereas before it would just kind of grind to a halt and stop. I wouldn't recommend someone doing this unless they have a large space to work in. I did this in my apartment and it was a huge pain in the butt. Couldn't paint inside, obviously. Had to take it outside. I wanted it to dry and then bring it back inside when I was done painting. And cleaning it off, I got grease everywhere on the carpet. I had to clean all that up. So, yeah, unless you have your own place, I don't recommend doing this.